On June 23, 1985, tragedy struck the skies above the Atlantic. Air India Flight 182, en route from Toronto to London, was destroyed by a bomb, claiming the lives of all 329 people aboard, most of them Canadian citizens. It remains the deadliest terrorist attack in Canadian history. In the aftermath of this devastating event, Canada vowed to remember the victims, honor their memory, and take decisive action to prevent such a tragedy from ever happening again. In the days following the bombing, the Government of Canada launched an investigation to uncover the perpetrators and understand the scope of the attack. This was a moment of national mourning, and families of the victims demanded justice and accountability. Despite years of investigation and legal proceedings, bringing those responsible to justice proved to be a long and complex process. In 2007, the Government of Canada committed to ensuring that the lives lost would never be forgotten. 4 memorials were established in Toronto, Vancouver, Ottawa, and Montreal. These sites serve as a permanent reminder of the innocent lives taken and the ongoing need to protect our nation against terrorism. The memorials stand as solemn spaces where families, friends, and citizens can reflect on this tragic chapter in Canadian history. In 2011, Canada launched the Kanishka Project, a $10 million initiative named after the Air India aircraft. This project was a significant step toward understanding and countering terrorism. Over 5 years, the Kanishka Project supported research into preventing and countering violent extremism. It funded conferences, publications, and studies to build a robust knowledge base that informs Canada's counter-terrorism strategies today. As a gesture of compassion, the Government of Canada offered ex gratia payments to the families of the passengers and crew. These payments were symbolic, acknowledging the administrative failures and emotional toll experienced by families over the years. The application period concluded in 2012, and payments were made to the families of 275 victims. While no amount could undo the tragedy, this act demonstrated Canada's recognition of their suffering. Today, the Air India bombing serves as a reminder of the devastating impact of terrorism and the importance of vigilance, justice, and compassion. Through memorials, initiatives like the Kanishka Project, and ongoing national security efforts, Canada continues to honor those lost and build a safer future for all. May their memory inspire us to pursue peace and security for generations to come. Learn more about Canada's efforts to combat terrorism and honor the victims of Air India Flight 182. Ladies and gentlemen, as we reflect on the tragic history of terrorism, including the devastating loss of Air India Flight 182, it is vital that we confront all threats to peace and unity, including the influence of extremist ideologies like Khalistani separatism. While the vast majority of the Sikh community in Canada are peaceful, contributing members of our society, there exists a small faction promoting division and violence under the guise of Khalistani ideology. These extremist elements seek to undermine the harmony of our diverse nation, leveraging fear and misinformation to push their agenda. It is essential to recognize that advocating for violence, extremism, or the destabilization of a democratic nation has no place in Canada. This ideology not only threatens the safety of Canadians, but also damages the global reputation of the communities it falsely claims to represent. As Canadians, we must remain vigilant against the rise of any movement that fuels hatred or disrupts the fabric of our multicultural society. It is through unity, understanding, and dialogue that we can counter these threats. Law enforcement and government agencies play a critical role, but so do we as citizens, by promoting education, fostering open discussions, and standing firmly against extremism in all its forms. Let us remember that Canada's strength lies in its diversity and its commitment to peace. By rejecting the divisive rhetoric of Khalistani extremism, we honor the lives lost to terrorism and ensure that our future remains one of inclusion and security for all. Thank you.